evening. Nos dan gracias, mucho gusto que nos haya acompañado. Unas palabras, por favor. Talk to your constituents.
Hey, Lynwood. Just thank you for being out here. I think we have to keep supporting more local artists. Maritza obviously did an amazing job. I was actually talking to her while you guys were calling me, so it was a great opportunity to talk to her. But I was acknowledging her for obviously being here. And I think it's not just Maritza, I think who she represents. She represents community. Her dad has been involved for many years in our community. And obviously the other siblings are getting more engaged in our community, but sharing our own talents is actually very important. So I just want to acknowledge her for her time, for being here. And hopefully we can have more people like her that are from our community to show her talent. So thank you all for being here. Thank you to the Lynwood Union for hosting a great event again, as they always do. And to all the volunteers that put these events together. It doesn't just happen magically. So people forget that these things happen because of community members that are engaged in it. Well, so thank you, Roland, for your leadership, and thank you all. I know my colleague, Mr. Young was here earlier. She had to leave. I want to acknowledge her for being here as well. Solamente quiero reconocer el trabajo de Maritza. Es muy importante que más artistas como ella se involucren en nuestra comunidad. Ella es un ejemplo y producto de nuestra comunidad, y como el talento que ella tiene como artista, como persona, hay que darle valor. Y dije hace rato que no nomás es Maritza, es lo que ella representa comunidad. Maritza, y un ejemplo, su papá ha sido alguien que está bien involucrado en su comunidad. El señor Munguia está enfermo hoy día, pero yo sé que él está aquí con nosotros espiritualmente, y claro, toda su familia que está aquí trabajando, y más que nada apoyar los trabajos que hace la Lynwood Union, con el trabajo que hace Roland Becerra y sus voluntarios. Esos proyectos no pasan mágicamente nada más, están hechos por voluntarios. Un aplauso también para ellos como voluntarios aquí en su comunidad, y sigan apoyando eventos como estos, porque son gratis para la comunidad, pero también cuestan su tiempo y energía. Gracias a todos que están involucrados. Thank you so much. Gracias.
Y acuérdense, va a seguir el mariachi, ¿ok? Ok, que viva la mujer. Que viva Lynwood. Es todo.
It's a pleasure to have you here this evening. My name is Lupe Rodriguez. I'm the eldest sister of the artist. And in just a moment, we're going to begin a little Q&A, questions. Please, have you taken the opportunity to see the art already? Because if you haven't, I suggest you do. And you can ask the artist, what was she thinking during that moment that she was painting those art? So I'd like to bring over Maritza. She'll be coming shortly. Maritza was born here in Los Angeles, California, September of 1977. I'm pretty sure I must have been jealous because she was my little sister. Our schooling education is here in Lynwood, but we attended a private school here at St. Emilius, but we still did activities in the city of Lynwood. She has also been a homeowner in Lynwood, and when she went to college, she was a Mariachi college student. She would attend nursing school and pay her way of college by playing her violin. She also would sing and still does sing. And there is a raffle here this evening, so if you'd like to donate towards the raffle, they are raffling off her beautiful voice on the CD. I do recommend it. Also, a few other things about her is that she performed her nursing rotations here at St. Francis Hospital of Lynwood. So she did help our community. And she still is a registered nurse now and services your whole area from Lynwood, Southgate, and Downey here at a local medical organization. For her artistic abilities, she's always been very creative. We've always had some funny adventures at home, especially when my mom would get very upset that we would use crayons on the wall. A little bit in Spanish para las personas que nos acompañan esta noche en español. Poco de historial de Maritza. Nos criamos aquí en la ciudad de Lynwood. Les expliqué que Maritza en colegio, ella tocaba mariachi, cantaba para ayudar a pagar sus libros para la colegiatura en el colegio. Actualmente es enfermera registrada y ella ayuda a la comunidad aquí en la ciudad de Lynwood, Southgate y vecindad. Me recuerdo yo cuando ella era muchacha más joven, bueno, ya estamos viejitas, pero cuando éramos más jóvenes, que ella hacía su entrenamiento en el Hospital San Francis y ayudando miembros de nuestra comunidad. So vamos a hacer una pregunta. Maritza Munguia, please come forward. Yes, please, Maritza Munguia pasa. Su nombre Maritza es turqués, significa río, un río en Turkey. Maritza, o sea, no es un nombre hispano. Mi mamá se inspiró, Maritza. So con ustedes, Maritza, unas palabras.
Thank you. You've met my sister. So thank you so much. Thank you here. We're at the Lynwood Union Gallery. Thanks to my sister and Roland to get this together. I am proud to be part of this because what we're trying to do here is inspiring our youth to understand that you can do many other things. Okay, there's education is paramount, but in addition to that, you could use other venues, positive venues, art, music. I was just interviewing with someone and I was saying, whatever makes you happy, okay? And with that said, you may not have the most luxurious items to do this with, but, you know, we could go 99 cents or get some crayons for $1, get a paper. But that's what we did. We didn't have that much. And with that stuff you see out there, all those paintings, I've never had an art class in my life. Okay, so that, it's just whatever comes from within me. I am proud to share with all of you. I'm proud to see what other projects we could do here in Lynwood to stimulate our youth, to further their education. And hopefully we do much more. I am proud Mexican American, here from Lynwood, as I said. And we lived through a lot here in Lynwood. Lynwood has its stories, but as I say, it's not taboo. We have beautiful, talented people in Lynwood, okay? And I am very proud to be one of them. But other than that as well, mariachi. I love mariachi. It comes from family tradition. I played it for many years, and actually I play with different groups, and I see them coming, but within this group that we have here, I do have 2 uncles and my cousin. I also play with another group named Mariachi Los Pasajeros. I've had 18 years as a registered nurse, but I've had more as a mariachi, and that's because it is family tradition, and I'm very proud of it. And hopefully, once they give me my violin, I'm gonna also help you guys out and hear a little bit of mariachi being played by yours truly, and of course, accompanied by my family. Let me give this a little bit to my sister, and let me go arrange this, okay? But thank you so much for coming. Enjoy.
We'll have a little more Q&A a little later when the mariachi takes a break. It's just that they just showed up. So for your pleasure, you'll be enjoying música, and please encourage Maritza to sing you a song or two. She sings beautifully. She's grabbing their violin. Careful as you cross the parking lot. Before we proceed any further, are there any questions that I can organize for her right when she has her break?
Buenas noches, gracias por venir. Todavía faltan 15 minutos, nomás que sí quisiera tomar este momento para darles las gracias a todos ustedes por venir. Roland, thank you so much for this. I hope everybody's having a wonderful time. You're welcome. We need more of this in Lynwood. We need more of this in all of our cities that we have here. And hopefully this could open up more windows, more doors for all of this stuff. Y les voy a cantar una última cancioncita si me lo permiten. Y luego los dejo aquí con los muchachos también, ¿verdad? Buenas damas y caballeros, me llamo Maritza Munguia. Me gustaría decirles también que para todos los jóvenes, ojalá yo sea un ejemplo para todos ustedes, siendo que cuando uno quiere, uno lo puede lograr, porque hay una meta, y nomás trabaja duro, estudia mucho, trabaja, y vas a conseguir lo que tú quieres, porque tú eres el futuro. Gracias. Hi, my name is Maritza Munguia, and actually we're showing here today at the Lynwood Union Gallery. I am a mariachi. I am a registered nurse. I have a bachelor's as a registered nurse. I also like to paint and I guess a little bit of everything.
Cool. So tell me about, early life. What was it like life growing up, like in K-12 and stuff?
I actually grew up here in Lynwood. I grew up here in Lynwood. Lynwood has, like I say, you might have a taboo about Lynwood, but Lynwood has a good and a bad time, like many cities. And with that said, it wasn't bad. We used to love back in the day, before the LA riots, those of us who lived through them, we loved Thrifty's ice cream, the pet shop right beside there. We used to walk to it.
School was great. I enjoyed my school here. I enjoyed my family life here for sure. And it was fun.
Cool. So growing up, what was it like, the upbringing? Like, did you grow up with siblings and stuff?
I actually have an older sister. I have a younger brother. My brother as well, he is a surgical tech. I guess we like the sciences and healthcare. My sister also worked in healthcare at this point. Currently, she does teach classes, CPR, ACLS, so we're mixed into it. Our parents both work for hospitals. And with that said, I think the biggest thing about it is, yes, we grew up in the inner city. Yes, we may not have had advantages that other people may have, but education was number one. And with that said, my father always says, where there is a will, there is a way. And with life also comes changes and adaptations. So with that said, like once again, education, we grew up in an environment where education was very valued, but love was everywhere. We didn't have the newest things. We were very humble in that. My mom used to make my dresses. And I'm very proud of that. I am very proud that I grew up humbly. I value everything I have. And I'm very grateful for that.
Cool. I noticed it also in Lynwood, there's a new program that helps elementary kids learn about the importance of bilingualness. Tell us about the importance of being bilingual.
You know what? I think for everybody, there's a different way of learning. When I came into the program here in Lynwood, I'll give you a little anecdote. I did not cry the first day in school because my parents left me. I cried because I didn't know English. I did not know English, and everybody knew English. I felt like I was a Martian here. But somehow I went through immersion. Now, there are those who will learn very well from bilingual studies, and kudos, I think that is great. And those of us who had to learn the hard way by immersion, but you know what? If we have resources available to our kids and our youth, that's going to help them in the long run, I'm all for it.
Cool. So, most would say that high school, especially the last year of high school, is the most stressful. What was it like for you? What activities were you a part of at the time?
Actually, this is where Mariachi comes in. Mariachi is actually part of my family from generations past. I think I was about in junior ending of sophomore year. I would always see my uncles playing mariachi. My father's not a mariachi. He does not hold time. But he loves it. But I always grew up hearing it with my uncles. And he said, you're going to play. Your brother and you're going to play. And my cousin and his sister. So we both went in there. That was our extracurricular activity. Keep us occupied, keep us out of trouble. Right? So it was school, music. But we loved it because it's part of our culture, from what my father says, and I don't say this much, but his great-grandma, my tatabuela, her name was Evarista Vargas. And he remembers as a child going with his grandma to visit her cousin, Silvestre Vargas. So I could see, now that I've done some of the genealogy tree, I can see where that side of it comes, the mariachi. There's also Mariachi Luz Aguilar, and more history in La Sierra de Tecalitlan, Tamazula, Santa Rosa. Those of you who are familiar with Ciudad Guzman, Zapotiltic, many of those areas, that side of the family comes from there. My mother's side of the family, they like to sing, but there's no mariachis in that side. It's just pick up an instrument, make noise. It's still music, okay? But I grew up with the music, and that was high school. High school for me, school. Not too much extracurricular because of safety. It was the times during the LA riots. And I remember my sister and I, we used to take the bus, and my father and my mother had to go to San Diego. A relative of ours was having heart surgery as a child. So we had to stay home for our own safety. You look out the house, the windows, and you see walls of fire. East, south, north, west, everywhere. So my sister and I are looking at TV, and sure enough, the bus that we would take was being rocked on TV, being toppled over. So it was some rough times, but we try to be as safe as possible, continue on with school, because that was the focus. And music is just a plus.
Tell us about the instruments that you learned.
So I play the violin. That's the main one, as well as voice. So hopefully I will be singing a little bit there for you and playing for y'all. And the group that's coming today, I played with many groups in time. I have played only with one female group, but other than that, it's been only men. And I like the experience also with men that they'll play, but the experience of women is just empowering. And there is documentation as we speak about women in mariachi. I know my grandfather, my father speak of in the Sierra de Jalisco, Pachita La Arpera. It's a group that over 50 years ago. You know, many people think it's modern times, and it's not. So I play the violin. I love the harp. I have 3 harps. But my main instrument, voice and violin, I fiddle a little bit with the harp. Fiddle a little bit with vihuela. I wanted the vihuela. Although they said, no, a girl looks prettier with the violin. I have 3 vihuelas. I've messed with it a little bit. You know? But other than that, a little bit of piano. But the forte, we would say, is violin and voice.
Cool. So, do you feel that like mariachi over time, have you seen a change as far as in pop culture and stuff like that?
Yeah, you see it mainstream more. You see more acceptance of it. And then it's very versatile. So you don't have only the traditional sound. Now you have more innovation of modern songs. You'll have certain followers to certain types of music. You know, there's different groups here in LA where you have the followers for this mariachi, the followers for that mariachi. But there's a little bit of everything. And then Grupo de Arpa now, a lot of going back to the old roots when mariachi did not have brass, you know, did not have trumpets. You're seeing grupos de cuerda, okay? Tierra Caliente right now also. So there's a lot of music coming up, and it is changing. I'm just happy to hear music.
As senior year is wrapping up, everybody questions, you know, that big question. What's next? What's after high school? What am I going to do next? What was it for you?
You know, at first I want to be a chiropractor. I don't know, it interested me, but I grew up as a sick child. I was sick as well. So part of the, I know in my bio, it sounds weird. Oh, she drew by herself in a room. I know it sounds odd, but it was because I was sick. Mm-hmm. So I was sick as a child, and it would help me cope. Mm-hmm. You know, just crayons and paper. Mm-hmm. So as I grew, I thought, oh no, I'd never be a nurse. Goodness gracious. I hated them. They used to have 6-7 nurses to go after me because I used to beat them up. You're not going to take blood from me. Well, karma, I'm a nurse. But I love it. I love it. I decided to go into nursing, and I love it. I've been a nurse for 18 years. As I said, here at St. Francis, giving back to my community, I have worked 2 years there, and I think the ambulance is coming by. It's on our right, I think.
Oh, wow.
Well, let's let it pass.
So,
back to business here.
How did you, when did you find out, like, what did you have when you were growing up? What were you sick from?
Oh, no, I knew since I was 2 years old.
Oh.
So, yeah, so I have a kidney condition. And kidney health is very important to me. And those who I find are on the way as well, I always tell them, take care of it, you know. But just take care of, as a nurse now, putting my nurse hat on, take care of your health as it is, whether it is mental, physical, health-wise. Either one, and also those around you. Mental illness, many people don't speak about mental illness, but it affects not only the patient, those around them. Okay, and we have to know about that. It has to be spoken of. It cannot be placed in the back anymore. We need to address it. Diabetes. Currently, I do work in endocrinology, rheumatology, those conditions. There's many conditions, but mine was more of a renal nature, and thank goodness, I've been doing well. My parents took care of me, and then I had to take the responsibility to take care of myself then growing up as well. It's hard because you mature very young as a child. You do mature, you face death very young. But I think it's part of us as Latinos and Mexicanos as well, and we've seen it with recent movies and so forth. We are very accepted about death as part of the culture. There's one thing you know is going to happen. You are born, you're going to die. And between those two, we're gonna party. So you're just gonna be happy. And that's one thing that to me, I'm a happy person. I try to be a happy person. Yes, I've fallen, I've had situations in life that are sad, depressing, and so forth, but I just get myself back up and dust it off and go on.
So as you were growing up, and how did the chiropractor thing happen?
The chiropractor idea was because when I was about 17 or 18, I wanted to become vegetarian, vegan, and my parents were going to a naturista, urologo, and I loved it. But he also was a chiropractor. So he was a chiropractor, and his wife was a local from Oaxaca, I believe. And it was great. But then I needed to change my diet because of other health issues. Doctor said, nope, you need to go back to something else. So at first I was tantalized by the chiropractor, but more and more I went to Mount St. Mary's College. It's known for their nursing. And then I had to get out because economically it was difficult. I did go to Compton Tartar. I did go to East LA College. I later got my bachelor's as well. But through the whole journey, I've experienced so much that gives me more background in it, fortifies why I am a nurse. Okay, and I'm very proud of that.
So your experience in each school, what was it like?
Well, every school's different. I think all of us who have been in colleges, it's fun. There's that adventure, that independence, and you're finding yourself. So, like I say, life is made of changes and adaptations. So even in college, we may go in with one mentality, one thing, and then we completely do a 360 to something else. So yeah, I started, let me be a chiropractor. I ended up being a nurse. And it is hard work. And I remember going from one school to another. It was different. I know it was financially, but I said, I'm not going to give up. I need to keep on going. And I did. As well as from my LVN, because I was first in LVN, and then I became an RN through the journey. I said, you know what? No. I need to do what I need to do, and I can't just stay here. Because, I'm not going to lie, when I was in LVN, no, I'm fine here. Do not stagnate yourself. You already have the potential to do something incredible. Continue on. We all have that power within us.
And were you ever shy to showcase your talents and stuff, like the music and all that stuff?
Extremely. So let me tell you, I started off as an extreme introvert, even though you see me all happy and nervous as can be. Okay, and I'll tell you, when I have the mariachi suit on, I'm there. When I'm singing, I'm there. Otherwise, I'm very shy, but always beside mom, quiet. They want to dance, nothing. Then mariachi started making more social, which is healthy. We need to nowadays see that many of our youth are not social. We need to find venues to make them more social. Journalism, the arts, sports. Find something that they like. Not to be forced into it, but what do they want? What do you see they will grow in? And continue to nurture that further. You will have a happy child, happy adult, and they will become incredible professionals in what they want. Then, as I said, mariachi just woke it up more. But otherwise, when I'm off the stage, I won't lie, I am shy. Now painting, my painting was in a closet. I paint in my room. This actual show was, you have a show on so-and-so day, and it's gonna happen. I'm like, no, I never subscribed to it. Well, you are now, and we're here now.
Cool. How did it go about the planning stages and all that to make this event happen?
It was very nerve-wracking, but my sister is a very exuberant character, and she's the one who pushed me into it. I must say, she was the first person that I idolized. I really idolized her as a child because she was social. I'm the introvert, she's the one at the parties and so forth. So because of her, I'm here, right? I remember seeing her playing the accordion and the piano when we were younger, and I'm like, I want to be like her. You know, she was the one always cute and everything for the boys. I was a tomboy. I was riding my skateboard until I broke myself and forget it. Then they didn't let me get on my skateboard again. But yeah, it's just different. It's a lot.
Everybody has that one subject in school where they just did not look forward to, or they just disliked it for some reason. What was it for you?
You know what? I think I actually liked. Maybe. I liked them all. I really did like them all. I think one thing, and my best friend, her name is Claudia, she was hysterical. We were going to have a certain, I think it was physiology, some class. But the people they needed to sign up didn't sign up, and I was depressed they didn't take it. So if anything, I couldn't take a class. But otherwise, the classes that I could take, I did take. If I did not take more was because I didn't have a ride, I didn't have the safety for it at that time, or I could have been sick, But I worked around it, did what I had to do.
So, sometimes, college can be stressful, especially if you're having to multitask and stuff like that, balancing stuff. Books can be expensive.
Yes.
Did you have to work during school and stuff?
Yes, I did. I actually would moonlight at night as a mariachi, and I would go to school in the daytime. It was very difficult. I remember doing clinicals. As nurses, we have to give our time. And we go to school, but we also have to give 8 12-hour shifts, depending what course you're in. And I remember at that time I was working Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I was doing that for mariachi, moonlighting. I was working swing shift at St. Francis Hospital, 3 to 11, on the days I wasn't doing mariachi at night. And in the daytime, I was going to nursing school, both lecture and clinical. I look back and I'm like, wow, how did I do it? But I found a way. Did I survive on probably the most unhealthiest food at the time? Probably I did. I had my truck packed with easy food, right? Who did not survive on Pop-Tarts? No commercial, sorry. But I did. I survived on them sometimes. I needed a sugar rush or my little sandwiches, okay? But you did what you did and you didn't have what you didn't have, okay? I am not ashamed to say that I did not know a mall till I was 18 or 19, okay? So what we had, my mom, like I said, would make some of our clothes. We would get the rest at the swap meet. I'm not ashamed of that at all. We had Newberries here. I loved Newberries. They had these cute little buttons I used to put in my dress, and it was a little cheaper. We had Zodi's. Those of you who remember Zodi's back in the day. You don't know. It was over by Lynwood High School right now. But other than that, you just try to budget. And I don't know how I did it, like I tell you, but I found a way to do it because I was on a mission. I did not want to be a negative statistic, not for statistics itself, but for actually myself. I want to make sure that I'm doing well for myself.
So throughout your schooling and even when you were nursing and stuff, like did your peers and your friends know that you also like made a living like with your talents and stuff? Did they know you were?
Oh yeah, they would see me. I had anatomy books. Any of those were in the sciences, whether doctors or nurses or any type of allied health. You know that our anatomy books are wee big, okay? $150, $200 a book, all right? So they would see me during breaks. We would be at the restaurant or something. They would see me during breaks, and I would be studying there. I would be doing what I had to do in those places. But yes, they knew. They knew, and they were supportive. They were in shock, but they were supportive.
It must be pretty cool to have made a living, with your own talents, being able to do that. And growing up, did you ever feel like you missed out though on like activities too while you were trying to learn
You know what,
music?
I will say, you're right. I apologize for going over there, but right now you just reminded me, a big sacrifice with mariachi is you sacrifice a lot of family time. You sacrifice those weekends. You sacrifice that time when there's the quinceañera, there's all these different parties. I did sacrifice a lot, but there were times when if it was something very, very important, I was there. Find me a replacement, I would say with time. But other times in the mariachi world, your word is gold. And if you, we say sometimes flaked out, okay, le fallaste, your word's worth nothing now. Okay, so how can they depend on you to be there on that Saturday for that gig? So if I said I was going to be there, if there was not someone sure, then I was there. I was there playing while my grandfather died. I was there when I was not feeling well. I was there even with one of the hardest times, in my life. There were different things. And I made it happen because I think you're committed to the art as well, speaking about music in itself. And also, there's many of us who are in healthcare. You see us, nurses, doctors. Right now, we go to work, we're broken, we're sick, but we're dedicated to take care of others. Okay, so yeah, there were many things that I did miss out on. And I wish I could have that back, but I didn't. I'm here now and I have to accept that. But that's why I try to just make time as best as I can.
So in today's pop culture, do you feel like there are more representatives or figures that represent mariachi other than the Tapatio bottle?
Oh yeah. We're seeing it. I think, recent Pixar, was it? One of these movies lately, if we could say it or not. But in the movies, we see it now. It's coming out more, as well as there are actors and just groups who are not taking in the stereotype of music, of movies anymore, okay? Because that's one thing I always say too. Next time you see a mariachi group, do not underestimate those who are with you. The mariachi, I am a nurse. I'm playing in front of you with a bachelor's. I am educated, but I am proud of the person that I am in my culture, okay? I have friends who are police officers, teachers, so many other wonderful professions, people with degrees, very talented musicians with Berklee School of Music degrees, okay? So yes, I think we are moving away from the stereotypes, and I think that's positive, and not only to generalize to, you know, the Mexican culture, but other beautiful cultures around the world. We have to be all inclusive.
Where do you see yourself after retirement?
Oh my goodness, painting, playing, doing something else. You know what, I think that I just love the moment, and if there's something new to do, I will do it, okay? I want to take acting classes in the near future. Probably I will pick up another instrument, travel more. So there's a lot of things that I would like to do a little bit more, and that's still a long way out, so I guess there's a little bit more to be continued on that.
What would you like your legacy to be?
Well, you know what, one of someone who really has set forth an example for our youth as well, okay? And we need to make sure that if, also being part of the Lynwood Union Gallery, when they told me about this, after I'm like, okay, I will do this. But why did I do it also? Because I want to be an example and leave the legacy of, yes, you can, which we've heard many a times, but yes, you could do whatever you want in life, do positive things, be good for the better good, how they say, right, for everyone, but be an example of, with hard work, education, you will achieve whatever you want. You know, I really believe if you're happy in life and you're doing things that are positive, everything's gonna come into play as it has to. And I'm very privileged and honored that it has for me. There's been struggles, but they've just made me stronger.
When did you learn, like, that like your art, like, did somebody tell you, like, how do I put this? Like, did you doubt yourself in your like art, and all of a sudden somebody's like, no, your art, your drawings are really cool, you got to show people? Or what happened?
Well, you know what? I remember in high school, one of our teachers, the art teacher, she saw some of my sketches and she had invited me to be part of the art class, but for X reasons I wasn't able to. So I think they had told me for, but I left it aside. That's why, to me, I was telling someone, I'm like, I don't know why this is such a big deal. It's just normal for me. Music, painting, it's just normal for me. But I guess people have told me, but I don't know, it's just normal. I don't see it being flamboyant. But if you see my work, you can see that there's different things about it. There's brightness, you know, there's color. But you could also see emotions of darkness, because like any human, I have all of my episodes that go with it. A little bit of everything.
Tell us about the like the materials, or the, how do I put this, the
Medium?
specialties of, like.
Okay, so the mediums that you're seeing there that we have would be a medium of canvas. I have some miniatures as well as I have some larger canvas, and we're using acrylics. So there's acrylics, there's also gold leaf composite, not the original gold. It's a little too expensive, but the composite is what we're using. We have some other work to make it look a little bit like a fresco on one of the pieces, and I believe that's what we, some photography, okay, just regular photography, okay.
And how did photography come about?
I think just since the days beyond, when we had the cameras with the little, you used to take it to the shop to get, you know, oh my God, we're going Wednesday and pick up my pictures. We would have a $1 camera and take a picture or two. So you'll see some of the pictures there, and you'll see there's a lot of nature. I love nature. Once again, as a kid, we used to, excuse the mental pauses, I know I have a lot of mental pauses, but as a kid, we didn't have that much money, so we got a bucket of chicken, went to the beach. A bucket of chicken or a watermelon, we went to the mountains. And that was our happy playground. So you'll see a lot of nature, because I love nature. Nature is beautiful to me, and that I grew up as my playground.
Cool. Tell us about the different venues that you performed at. Have there been any, like, out of state and stuff? What have you done?
We did. We actually did in 2003 in a group that I had. That was back in Nebraska. Thanks to, actually, if any of you know, Cal State people. Miguel Gutierrez is a professor, I believe, Chicano Studies over at Dominguez Hills. And we went to Nebraska thanks to Miguel Gutierrez. And he was in our group, so we played over there. I've also played at Mariachi USA. I was proud to play at San Musa. Thanks to our wonderful teacher, Laura Sobrino. Laura Sobrino, she pushed us as well. God bless her soul. She's not with us anymore, but she had her mariachi babies, and she made sure that we learned how beautiful this tradition is. And she gave us so much for all of us who love our Laura, our grandota. To this day, I love my Laura.
So, for those that are not familiar with what is a mariachi, tell us the meaning.
There's many meanings to the original word mariachi. Is that what you're saying? Mm-hmm. You know, because some people say it comes from mariage. You know, when the French were there, there's different words to it. I wish I could give you an exact word, but for that, I would have to direct you to my historians. So I will defer that to them.
Okay, and then how about tips for artists or musicians?
You know, for sure, like I said, do what you love. Sometimes they want to impose an instrument on a child and they're not flourishing. If they don't like the violin but they like the drums, get them the drums. If you don't want to listen to it, get an electric one. You got headphones, call it a day. You know, but let them flourish in what they want to flourish. If it's artwork, give them a white canvas. Don't give them something that you have to color this in. Let them explore. If I played with a lot of dirt as a kid, okay, I made little mountains. Let them feel, let them know. And that will help your children grow artistically, wake up parts of the brain, because now I'm being scientific in this, wake up other parts that may help them in the future. Many of the doctors and nurses that I work with play music. So there must be something there. There are theories there.
Oh, cool. How about your parents' reaction when they, when they always saw you like drawing and stuff? Did they like encourage you to try to get better, or how did they go? Did they say just music or?
No. My parents are very supportive, and they just wanted us children to be happy. If it was music, they would help us play music. If it was the arts, you know, I'll buy you paper. I'll buy you watercolors. We would play with the watercolors until one of the three messed up, put the yellow and the red, and now we're not happy. You know, but at least when we could afford it and they bought us that, we treasured it. So very supportive, both with the arts, both with education, and family life as a whole.
Has there ever been like a bad night, like the most stressful night as a performer?
I've had a few, you know, but I think that just goes with it. Like I said, there's been times where I have played, I'm sick, or I had a loss in the family, and the show had to go on.
Cool. So tell us about the particular pieces that are here today.
So we have a few things. I do like the inspiration being, I love, and I will say it, MOLA, Museum of Latin American Art. One of my dreams, Cheech Marin, if you're out there, I'd love for you to have one of my pieces one day. Chicano art. But other than that is, some of the pieces that I do have are inspired on Frida Kahlo. I have my Frida, my Friducha. I have one piece that is inspired also by Botero, Colombian. Some of the dark ones are more relevant to Jose Clemente Orozco, Jalisco, Siqueiros, you know, and there's other pieces there as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was gonna get to that. Who have been your inspirations? Who have been your mentors?
I think I just told you, right? And I've never taken an art class in my life. Ta-da! In case I forgot to tell you that from the beginning, the paintings and all that I know you have seen in the gallery. The photography, I've never taken photography. I've never taken painting. These are all just raw talent, I guess. And with that, hopefully I can take classes then, and I hope to get better. Someone who I really admire right now is Omar Ortiz from Mexico. He's a realist, and I hope one day to have that talent with that type of an art. Currently, I'm happy with what I have. I love the bright colors. I love the different things that I do.
Cool. Now, you know, as you were saying, you know, times have changed and stuff. Tell us about, you know, the importance of also like having, you know, females in different industries that have been, you know, predominantly male for so long.
So that's actually a very good question, because I work in two completely different environments. Nursing is a very female-oriented environment if you think about it, okay? And then here in the mariachi world, very male, male-dominated environment. But I've learned to adapt to both. I've had, I think in the mariachi world, people would assume that I have struggles being a woman in the mariachi world, and I haven't. I think because since the beginning I've shown who I am, and this is just how it is. I'm not gonna let anything slide, because if you do, then it's just a slippery slope. Okay, I'm totally supporting, men and women, but supporting all of those who are speaking up. We have to. If we don't speak up, how is anybody gonna know how to fix the problem, for one thing? Okay, but if you let it go on, that's an issue that regretfully, some have had to experience and live through, and it's very painful, and we do not need that. So yeah, time's up.
Cool. Do you have any particular favorite pieces that you've made over the years, or that your parents have a favorite or something?
You know what, to me, if you see my work, you see I love the ocean. So there's, I think, Cielo Rojo, Crimson Tide, that I have over there. My latest one, which is Hola Mi Amor, Hello My Love. It's a little bit sultry, a little bit sensual, but also it's part of a 3-piece collection that I have there. And you'll see with that collection, it's very colorful, and I love color. But I think, anything with the ocean, you'll notice I love. And I love color. Did you get to participate in like a club or something during college? You know what? I was commuting a 2-hour commute at a time. So I really couldn't. I would sleep in my car during, classes. I wasn't able to. So it really was just class, study, mariachi, sleep. We value sleep and eating whenever I could sneak it in. But I think it's because the commute was pretty difficult. And then working and studying. Mm-hmm. I wish I could have been more active. If you could be, please, by all means be. I think I was able to be part of Mitch at a time. And then that was early on. But otherwise, it just got very busy with school and all of that.
How about strategies to survive midterms and finals?
You know what? During finals at a point, I remember I had to rent a dorm. I don't know if many colleges do that nowadays, but I was commuting. But when it came to finals week, because I know if I stayed home, I wasn't going to study. It's like, go do this, go do the laundry, because you're helping your family as well, right? I would rent, at that point, a little dorm there just to study. Or else if I was at home, later in my educational career, I'd go to the library. You got to meet Dewey. I got to get that shirt, okay? I copyright it. Go meet Dewey. The Dewey Decimal System at the library. Go to the library, people. That's where I was going. I would go to the library. There'd be silence. There'd be so many wonderful things there. And I could study there.
Cool.
And write things down, because you forget everything. So I had to write things down on the checkboard.
Do you have any, tips for people that want to, follow your footsteps?
You know what? Write everything down. Do your basics. If you could do your first classes, pre-electives first, do it. If you can't, don't worry. See how the program works. Work with your dean. And if they're able to let you do the program with one class at a time, do not overburden yourself. Okay? You need to know your limitations. And find time to study, but also find time to relax. We know when it's winter, spring, and summer break, if you could, sleep. But really write down, work with your dean, talk to your counselors. You cannot do this all by yourself. It does take a village. You got financial aid, you got the counselors, you got all these places. So you need to make it work. And good luck.
Cool. Closing statement to the viewers.
Closing statement to the viewers. Once again, where there's a will, there's a way. If you hear me being redundant, it's because it's for a reason. I wanted to be where I am now, and I know I'm not the same woman from yesterday, nor will I be the same woman that I will be tomorrow. I will work to a better person, and hopefully you will too. And with education, hard work, happiness, you'll be where you want to be.